Hello y'all, this is Atomic, a Hearts of Iron 4 mod that takes place in a world where a nuclear war happened in 1995. With that in mind, the modification starts in 2136, more than 100 years after the global disaster occurred. We are on the select country screen now, and there are like 8 different notable nations here, and they are the People's Socialist Republic of Albania, the USA or the United States of America, the Utopian Republic of Argentina, the Oceanic Pirate Empire, the Third Nigerian Empire, the Empire of Amazonia, the Gunish Republic, and the Eastern European Union. What goodies does Atomic have for us? Well, number one is the user interface, and I believe it's its own separate mod, and that is named Escape from the GeoCities, and it fits the fact that in this timeline the world effectively kind of ended in 1995 when Windows 95 was cutting edge tech, and it's beautiful, but it may take some time to comprehend it, that is for sure. And let's go to our political tab to see some ideologies and other things. And laws in government and research and production and military staff have been changed around to fit the new user interface. Then for ideologies, we have 5 in this mod, and they are Hogist, Posadist, Technicist, Revelationism, and Raider. And I'm going to go over each of them, and they do have sub-ideologies, but I'm just going to go over one explanation for each of them. And we'll first go over Hogist, and we'll go to Albania for that, and their description here says, Orthodox Hogist follow the writings of Enver Hoxha extensively. The movement is characterized by the belief, while each nation is allowed to pursue their own route to communism, the way to success is to promote ideal socialist and remove reactionary elements. And that is Hogist. Let's now go to Posadist, and this is it's centered around Posadism, which I think is like a version of Trotskyism. I'm not entirely sure, but it's related to Marxism as a whole. We'll go to Argentina for that. It says, for this particular sub-ideology, while they still, or unless this is the only version of Posadism in this mod, I don't know, while they still hold on to the idea that there are fellow travelers amongst the stars, Utopian Posadists have begun to argue that they can't just wait for others to bring communism to the earth. Instead, it's the responsibility of the people to nuke the bourgeoisie. And Posadism just kind of notoriously has links to aliens and nuclear weapons. Not sure of the relationship there, but that is something that it has going on in real life, and this mod does kind of use that as well. And let's go and talk about, say, what is next? Let me think here. Technicism, and the Eastern European Union is a good example of that. And it says here, let me read it. So it says, not really an ideological movement. Continuous technicists are individuals who operate from a clear line of succession from a pre-conflict government. Typically, they tend to lean towards a liberal definition of conservatism because of the inherently conservative system, but this isn't universal. And next up is Revelationism, and for that, let's take a look at at France and their version of Revelationism. Revelationism, it says, integralist revelationists act to subordinate all aspects of society, public, private, political, and religious, under their mass movement. Their end goal, at least in concept, is to unite the nation and their worldview into one entity. And next, the very last ideology in this mod is Raider, and we'll use the United Bohemian Empire as an example for that. And the ideology text says, this leader has foregone recognized ideology almost completely in favor of holding on to their personal power for as long as possible. They rule, so absolutely it's difficult for many within the country to picture challenging them. And that is Ideologies and Atomic. And let's go to the research tree now, and here is Escape from the GeoCities in all its glory, doing its thing. And I am running this on the Man to Guns version. Well, the Man to Guns update of HOI4, whenever that DLC came out, because this mod was released in 2019, and as a recording, it has not been updated since. So it runs on like a HOI4 patch version of, say, 1.8. And looking at technology tree, well, the research tree here, it seems fine. Just your basic stuff. And it looks a lot like vanilla HOI4 during the Man to Guns period, so that's when the ship and naval rework took place at that time. We have air doctrine, engineering, industry, all right then. And with that all nice and checked out, we'll go over all the countries in the world, and we'll go to Africa first. And in North Africa, we have the Arab Republic of Egypt. Then there is the Libyan Arab Jamahira. We got the Algerian Salvation Front. There is the Kingdom of Morocco, and we're getting more into West Africa now. And here there is the Digital Coast, then the Third Nigerian Empire, and they lead a faction called the Moral Imperative, which is them and Amazona, which I think is over in Brazil or South America in general. Then going over through the Congo, there is the Utopian Republic of Central Africa, the People's Republic of Kenya, and in the Horn of Africa, we have the Abyssinian Empire. And going towards South Africa, there is the massive Commune of the Cape. Then we have the Republic of Madagascar, who is a subject of, well, say the Oceanic Pirate Empire, and we'll go to them now. And they lead a faction called the Sea Force, and they dominate Australia and parts of Oceania in general. And what's going on in New Zealand? Who controls that? That belongs to the United Kingdoms. Interesting. So that's their capital. And we'll go through the rest. We'll go more into Asia now. And for here, we have, say, the Poseidus Kingdom of Thailand, as well as, yeah, is it the Poseidus Kingdom of Thailand? Yes. And the massive People's Republic of China, who kind of took over Vietnam in this timeline by 2136. There is the state of Burma, and in Manchuria and Korea, there is the Federal Republic of Koryo. And I think, did Korea take over Manchuria? Maybe, possibly. In Siberia, we have the Siberian Nomadic region. It's not really a country technically, but it's kind of just a presence. Over in Japan is the Bisojo's Senji Republic, and they're part of the 11th International P, and I guess that's the Poseidus faction of the 11th International. And getting more into, we'll go down to the Indian subcontinent and then the Middle East at this point. We have the Communist State of Nepal, there is the Republic of India, and Ceylon is controlled by the Republic of Madagascar, but so is the Maldives, and that's just an extension of the Oceanic Pirate Empire, really, who's very strong in this world. And going more toward the Middle East, there is the Islamic Republic of Pakati. Then we got the Cyan Republic of Iran, the Republic of Arabia, and the Stellar Union of Anatolia. What a name. Let's go to South America, and here is the Republic of Gran Colombia. Then to the south, we have places like the Peruvian Ascendancy, the Plurinational State, which is a Hojist state. Then we got the Chilean recolonization zone, the Utopian Republic of Argentina, who leads the 11th International P faction, which I guess stands for the Poseidist section of the 11th International. Then we have the Federative Republic of Brazil and the Empire of Amazona, who is part of the Moral Imperative faction with Nigeria. And let's now head to Europe, and we'll go from Western Europe to Eastern Europe, I suppose. And in this region of the world, we have the Empire of Britannia, which may or may not be led by an AI version of, well, Queen Elizabeth II. I'm not really sure. I'm just looking at the portrait, and I'm leaning toward maybe yes. Then we have the Eternal Republic of France, the Grand Union of Iberia, and they are, it looks like, Morocco is in Andalusia, and Granada in the Iberian Peninsula. Very interesting. Then going more over to Western Europe, we got the Grand Duchy of Benelux, the Swiss Tribal Confederation, a very powerful People's Socialist Republic of Albania, who's taken over large chunks of the Balkans, Italy, and Greece. Then there is the Grand Duchy of Transylvania, and it should be noted that Albania leads a faction, and it is called the 11th International H, which I assume means the 11th International Hojist section, perhaps. Then beyond Albania, well, not Albania, beyond Transylvania, there is the Bulgarian state, the Raider United Bohemian Empire, Commune 2, and the Free Nation Christiania, and Free Nation Christiania and Commune 2 are in a faction called the Revolution League, and we have the Eastern European Union and the Nordic Empire, and both of them are fighting the Revolution League, it looks like. And the Nordic Empire control Sweden, Norway, and Finland, and the Eastern European Union has what could be called Eastern Prussia, parts of Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and that's their territory. Then getting more toward Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, we have Volhynia, the Republic of Volhynia, and their flag kind of resembles a roller coaster, honestly, at least to me. Then there is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, who is part of the 11th International H, the Albanian faction, and that's what the USSR is a part of, I guess. And in Crimea, there is the Republic of Crimea, and above the Hojist USSR, we have the Belarusian Russian Union State. And let's go over to Ireland now, and that is controlled by the North Atlantic Association, and they are a puppet of the USA. And going over to North America, we can see that the North Atlantic Association, besides Ireland, has Iceland and Greenland under their control, as well as Newfoundland. And over in North America, we can see the Goonish Republic dominates Canada and portions of what could be considered the Pacific Northwest of the USA, at least in our timeline. And we have the Liberatory State in Mexico and parts of Central America and portions of the American Southwest, at least in our timeline, I guess. Then there is Texan Cavalier in Texas. We have the Republic of Panama, who is guaranteeing like 3 different countries, and they're guaranteed by Carib, the Liberatory State, and who else? They're guaranteed by Gran Colombia, and Carib is the Republic of Carib, and they're in Cuba. They control Cuba, Hispaniola, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, and a lot of Caribbean islands overall. And then we have the United States of America, and they lead a faction called NATO. And this has been Atomic. If you like this mod, you can check it out in the video description. A link to it is there. What do you think of it? Tell me in the comments section below. And after you do that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.